Welcome to Creps&Cards show, episode 4. It's nice to have everybody in. Just a quick reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a subscribe, a like, and a share. We'll get into it. We've had a 1 week hiatus where we've not been able to upload, so apologies for that. And part of the reason is that we've had a few things on, and I'll just take it straight to Mahfouz, who I understand was in Manchester for a few days and got to see the GOAT in action. So first check in with Mahfouz. How was it seeing the GOAT and form of the sort of stars around Europe? How's everybody doing?
Oh, hi there. Thanks for that. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to spend a few days in Manchester. It's something that I don't do a lot, as it's a bit of a journey from London. But yeah, I thought, what can I say no to an opportunity to potentially see, obviously, one of the GOATs. I was lucky. We were all lucky enough, actually, to see Messi earlier on this year. I think it was during the summer for the Finalissima. So I thought, I needed to see Ronaldo while I had the chance. I mean, to be honest, the game was pretty average. He looked really, really off the pace. He did score a goal, but that was disallowed. But I don't know. I hope, he is a supreme athlete. And I hope it's not his age that was finally catching up to him. He did seem like he was just ever so slightly off pace, where he was maybe touching the ball one extra time when he should have shot from the couple of chances he had. I hope it's just match sharpness. Obviously, he hasn't really started many games this year. He's just coming off the bench. So, hopefully he will improve, I'm hoping. In terms of, obviously, what's going on around Europe, obviously, Erling Haaland's been scoring left, right, and centre. Unfortunately, due to obviously the Queen's passing, the Premier League's been off, but the Champions League is still going ahead, so he'll be playing against Dortmund, so that should be a nice watch. I did briefly watch the Liga 1 during the weekend, and I saw a fantastic assist from Messi and Neymar scoring again. But I don't know, this season he seems to be like scoring left, right, and centre, even though there was the talks of him potentially leaving PSG, but he seems to step up to a plate this year. What else did I watch? Obviously Mbappe. Lewandowski. I can't remember if he scored on the weekend. I'm not 100% sure. He did play against Bayern Munich yesterday, but unfortunately he didn't do too well. He had the future.
He did score yesterday.
He did score on the weekend.
Yeah.
On the weekend he scored, isn't it?
He had lots of chances yesterday.
Yeah, and it seemed like he was still playing for Bayern Munich yesterday, wasn't it? Kept on missing all the chances, which is very unlike him. But yeah, I mean, it's been other than obviously watching the game last week, it's been a pretty boring weekend, I'd say, personally, due to the Premier League not being on. That's something that I always look forward to every weekend. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just want to take you back to a couple of things that you said. I mean, Ronaldo, you got to see him live. Obviously, it was a momentous occasion. In terms of him being off form, is it something physical, do you think? Like, because obviously he was in very good physical condition last season in the Premier League, in terms of how trimmed he was, in terms of his pace, headers, he was in very good physical condition. So is it a physical thing, or do you think it's just the fact that he's not started?
I'd say if it was an average a regular player, you could say it's a physical thing. At 37 to do what they do, there's only very few who can do, what he is capable of, like of Ibrahimovic and stuff. I think right now it's too early to say if it's a physical thing or if it's just the lack of match fitness and match sharpness. As I think he's only had one start before this UEFA Cup game. I think it was against Brentford, which obviously you don't need to explain what the score was there. But I'm hoping personally that it is just the lack of match sharpness. But everyone ages. No one gets younger, and unfortunately, I hope it's not. But I wouldn't be shocked if it is, just age catching up to him finally.
Yeah. I want to bring Mikel in here. I know we had a conversation about this offline. Is this now the beginning of the end, as sad as it is to say, of that, that GOAT rivalry, Messi and Ronaldo? Is it now that obviously they're still going to be around for a number of years, but is it now that higher level that we expect of them, they can't maintain? They can't breeze past people that like they used to. They can't score those 40-yard screamers. Is it now the beginning of the end, Mikel, or is it too soon to say?
I don't necessarily like, we have to understand the things. Ronaldo is not happy in United, apparently. Messi is not happy in the Paris Saint-Germain. So Messi still at least providing the action, he providing the assists, so which is very good. But when you are not happy somewhere, it's hard to tell that if you really wants to performing to the 100% or you just performing just for sick of it. So I don't know, but we might see a turnaround in January where we will actually see Ronaldo in Chelsea. Is really possible that Potter has that in his contract, that he has to bring Ronaldo. Maybe, because I think that Boyle is kind of businessman, because he wants to buy more clubs. And I think that he might bring Ronaldo to the Chelsea, and then we will see. Then we will see how everything will works. Obviously manager, blah 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 blah. But Ronaldo didn't have preseason because of his family. Yeah, and that will come out. Whatever he was saying, that he will say the truth. Blah 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 blah. Messi has full preseason, but Messi is basically not that goal scorer. He's provider for Paris, I would say. If he would,
physically, Ronaldo's 37, Messi is 34.
they can't run that fast anymore.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Is that
even you do gym weights, you're running, but obviously, your bones are not getting young. Like I can tell when I'm running as well, like, still can run pretty decent. But when you sprinting, you can't sprint continuously. So imagine that he is like 36. Okay, he looks fit, blah 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 blah, but his lungs might not be that strong anymore. Because they obviously, he has 37. Running every day, is big pressure on his legs, on his muscles. So it's really tough. It's really tough for them. It's really different than you have 22 years old Haaland or Mbappe. You know what I mean? Like, they have fresh muscles. They have everything fresh. They are fresh every single game. I remember when I was younger, I could run every time. I could sprint nonstop, and I wasn't tired. So it's hard to tell. And I hope that we will see them another 3 years, and then we will just have to say goodbye to them, and we just have to appreciate still that names are around.
Yeah, I know you mentioned January. I'm very, very excited about, obviously, the months before November and December, the World Cup. Obviously,
that is gonna be big thing.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that I'm not sure if it's relevant, but I'm not sure if you saw their FIFA score rating for the first time.
Yeah, I saw.
Is it the pace or something has been below 90 for both of them? So
So FIFA basically, what I saw, the latest rating, Ronaldo has 90. And Messi has 90. 91 is Benzema, Haaland, Mbappe. Who was there? I can't remember who else was there, but yeah, it's what it is. FIFA rating is garbage for me anyway. I'm not playing FIFA just because it's every time the same. I'm playing video games, but not FIFA. FIFA, I'm playing against you or Boro. That's all.
Yeah. I've not played FIFA for a very long time. And just coming back to Mahfouz, what you're saying about the the strikers who are in form in Europe at the moment, is Haaland the hottest thing around, or would you say it's someone else?
I don't know. You can't really argue with the facts right now. Me being a United fan, unfortunately, yeah, he is at the moment the hottest player around in terms of the attributes and not look wise. But he's doing fantastic. Which will I don't think anyone really doubted it too much. I think he's made for the league. Big guy, massive pace. Fantastic finishing, and I'd probably say him at the moment is currently in the top format of all the strikers around. Obviously Lewandowski is scoring goals. Benzema obviously is still scoring goals. Mbappe's there, but I think you can't argue with Erling Haaland being the top don at the moment.
Erling Haaland, I have to say,
I'll just come to you. I know what you think about Erling Haaland. So
Erling Haaland is the best tapper in the world. That means that he is the best in the box. No matter what, you will check the ball there, he will be there and he will just tap that in. And that what is it? That what is his role. You can tell he can't do anything else. He doing just that. And that what because you can't argue with the City. They don't need him to combine the game. They need him to bring it in that goal. Like they need to bring him that he will tap that and that's it. That is his role. That is his role in Manchester City. You can just tell that he not doing anything. He has absolutely brilliant when I'm watching, he has absolutely brilliant movement in that box. He knows where to go. He knows how to remove that defender, and he will score you. He will just tap that in, and that is the reality. You have other players like Benzema, now the Mbappe. Those guys scoring nicer goals, but Haaland is just Robocop in tapping. Which one he is the best currently?
But isn't that the most important thing, to get the goals? It doesn't really matter how they're scored as long as you're getting them.
I think for him is the important just the scoring the goals.
I'll bring my older brother in at this point. I know you take a Liverpool-centric view, perhaps not so much of a broader view of all the players around Europe. I mean, how's Mohamed Salah doing? What's the feeling about from a Liverpool-centric point of view? Who's in form? Who's doing well? What's going on there?
Thank you very much. First of all, Mahfouz's use of the word "fortunate" to be in Manchester is very subjective, so we'll keep that there. As regards to, he did send some pictures of some great food outlets, so for that I'll accept it. But for the rest of it, we'll just leave
unfortunately the food was more enjoyable.
Yeah. So okay, so we'll cover that, and then the next thing to say about Liverpool. Well, I was lucky enough to speak to some local Scousers today, and we are all in agreement. Fantastic result. Mohamed Salah, of course, the finish was top class. What do you expect? His ability to create space in that area and to, of course, finish with his left foot, fantastic. In terms of the performance, if you are being honest, it wasn't the best. Liverpool are nowhere near the levels required to be amongst the Europe's elite. In fact, they're not even near the level required to be in the Premiership elite. And I think everybody knows that. Listening to the post-match interviews, Klopp knows it. The players all know it. You listen to Van Dijk. He said that this is a step in the right direction, and that's what it is. It's just a step. Of course, the results. What's key? We're talking about Haaland in the Charity Shield. He looked very sharp. I'm not sure why he seems to have gone off a little bit off the boil, but at the end of the day, he's measured against a very high standard that he's set for himself. So everybody is judging him based on that. Of course, everyone will say, "Oh, it was a terrible business by Liverpool letting Mane go." Mane was a very important piece of the player. He was, there's no doubt. But if a player wants to leave, as we're led to believe he did, then what can you do? You have to wish him well. And often, in the past, when there was rumors of Gerrard leaving Liverpool, the Liverpool fans would come out and set his shirt on fire, but nothing like that happened. I mean, everybody was wishing Mane well. Mane wanted to leave, fair play to him. He is an important player. How much of a hole he's left behind, time will tell. And Liverpool are not up to speed yet, but there are some blossoming shoots being shown.
Can I just ask you one question with regards to Liverpool?
Go ahead.
We all have a friend another friend of ours who's a Liverpool fan, and I stand to be corrected, but he does state that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a generational talent. Me myself personally, I don't think so. And from very brief Liverpool games I've watched this year, a lot of the goals have been through his side and from some mistakes that could be avoided.
Okay, so Trent Alexander-Arnold is a phenomenal talent in terms of what he's achieved. No one can deny. I think it's the last 3 or 4 seasons he holds the top number of assists. In the last season it was Mohamed Salah, but generally speaking, he's in the top 3 assists from right back. It's out. To think about that is, it's incredible. How many times can you say in world football, I would say the hardest league in the world, can a right back provide consistently the number of assists that he does? So for that, he is a brilliant talent. Now, I think the issues that you're raising are his defensive frailties, and they've always been there. But why are they so apparent now? Now, if you look at the season when Jordan Pickford done his business and took Van Dijk out for 8 months or 6 months, whatever it was, again, most of the time, Alexander was exposed. I think during that time period, I think since Optima was created, Trent Alexander-Arnold was recorded as being the player that has lost the most number of balls ever. So it just goes to show that without the team around him that's built as it was, so Van Dijk in that case, and now what's going on, if you look, is Henderson being missing. Henderson provides cover to allow Trent to go forward and allows him to hold and maintain defensive positions, and he doesn't look as exposed. With Henderson not being in the team, Trent Alexander-Arnold is much more exposed, and equally when Van Dijk is nowhere near the player he was 2 seasons ago. But when Van Dijk wasn't there, when he was injured, again, there was Trent Alexander was exposed, and his defensive frailties were shown. Is he a generational talent? I don't think we can say that my feeling is at this moment in time, I think the jury is still out. I do think he's a phenomenal player. But as for generational talent, I feel is a question mark.
Looks like Liverpool will be even worse. Yesterday when I watched them, they was absolutely terrible. Rubbish.
I think there is reasons to be optimistic. Not as rubbish as Liverpool were in match day 1 in the Champions League. That is what you call rubbish against Napoli. That is truly, I mean, worse.
By you playing Ajax, bro, who lost 6 best players. Yeah. Look. You playing Ajax. I understand you had like 23 shots. You had plenty of chances. You don't have goal scorer. Sorry. You don't have
at the moment.
And the biggest flop is Núñez. Darwin Núñez is biggest
flop. No, I don't agree. Núñez.
You don't agree. Look how many games there was.
I don't agree because Núñez, he scored in his first Premier League game. Then he got sent off, and since then he's been a bit part player. The sending off would have affected him. I think he may turn out not to be the right man, but I don't agree he's not the right man, full stop, right now.
Okay, I just think that he is not the right man because Salah needs different player, not him, not his personality. There, I will just that's what I'm seeing, and I'm watching Liverpool pretty often, and I would say, when you're saying that why Liverpool is not performing well, why they're not performing? Because there is obviously, it's every year getting harder and harder. Teams getting stronger, teams getting much fitter, you know, and maybe just the players don't having it anymore. You know,
I mean,
it's just the thing.
do you guys think
You can't be lucky all the time, but pretty
Yeah.
much Liverpool becoming lucky in 90 minutes most of the time. They can't score goal, but then they scoring in the last minute. And
I think if you're having,
not
I
blaming-
think if you're having 23 shots in a game, luck. You know, if you look at expected goals, I don't think it's luck.
No, I mean, do you think
luck in the certain minute is a luck.
do you think
No, I mean-
they usually do.
do
and-
you guys think
I'm not
Jurgen
fan of
Klopp's
any-
cycle finished?
Say again,
I
sorry.
mean, do you think Jurgen Klopp's, because you know, obviously, I mean, again, I don't, you know, I'm not 100% sure. I did briefly see on Twitter that he usually has like a 7-year cycle where in the 7th year he has issues in his team, where apparently it happened in Mainz. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I remember his last season of Dortmund, that team was struggling a lot, and he ended up quitting the job, I think, at the end of the summer, I think it was. And he said he needed a break. And
So
he
there
needed
are
a break, and then
Yeah.
I think this is now his 7th year, and it seems like, you know, like the Jose Mourinho 3rd-year cycle. Obviously, 7 years is a fantastic achievement in this day and age to have a job at top club for 7 years. Do you think potentially maybe the motivation's kind of
Beginning of the end syndrome.
yeah, where it's like
So-
the
so-
players ain't as
so-
motivated anymore, and
Yeah.
you know, and he's just not in it.
So
I think the problem
there's
is
rumors.
the problem is with fans, and you know, you guys are all supportive of a team. We're not going to get a truly objective view of the situation.
Agreed.
So, yeah,
But there are. Can we
I'm
just say?
saying to you objectively. I'm saying to you.
yep, yeah.
It's just the objectively what I'm saying. I think that's the team just don't have it, and we know why, because they are the guys who are hungry. The Liverpool flopped in the Champions League, and you know they went egoistic. We're going to win it. We're going to give them back what they take us before with Ronaldo back in time.
So the rumors are the inhalers have stopped working now. So you know, perhaps that's what's going on. But we'll we'll move on. As my brother, I agree with my brother in this way that it's very difficult to get an objective view, and of course I'm biased, but I tried to give some objectivity in the stats that I quoted. But
I
you know,
think that if Liverpool will not get back ASAP, they're not finishing top 4. There is so much competition right now in Premier League.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
they have
I'll-
hard group. Don't get me wrong. They have absolutely crazy group as well.
I mean, I
Tottenham
just
lost.
wonder,
Tottenham lost last night.
yeah, I just wonder if that 7-year cycle thing has something to do with the, you know, is it Jurgen press or Gergen press, whereby, you know, the players are pressed so hard, trained so hard, that level of intensity that it can't be maintained.
The Gegen press has
Yeah.
been not present for the last 2 years. Basically, his team has evolved with the midfield personnel, so
Yeah.
he's not been Gegen pressing for about 2 years.
Okay, but that level of intense training, that intensity in the match, you know, is it that has a shelf, not a shelf, you know, it's like a tank which is now empty, and you know, you empty out or you know, all the abilities for the players because they've been essentially worn out, and that's the reason why
Maybe,
at 7 years.
maybe if you look at the average, you know, all the main Liverpool players, like for 3 or 4 years, they played pretty much every game. I think Salah's missed like 2 or 3 games. When Mane was there, he missed very few games. You know, so perhaps, you know, there, you know, as we spoke about with Ronaldo, everything is finite, right? Everything has to come to an end at some point. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there is something in that.
I will tell you. Look, I will tell you. When I saw on live Liverpool versus City on Community Shield in Leicester, the Liverpool was completely different club than is now. And I will tell you what, they was running, they was sharp. Salah looks like an unbelievable player. And now when we seeing it, I don't know if like confidence drop or is something behind the scenes. I think it might be behind the scenes. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes with the clubs. You don't know what uh, the owners want. You don't know. We know that's lots of football clubs become also more business clubs, more, there is lots of politics in it as well. We don't know. We don't know what's happened to Liverpool, but it's happening. It's happening similarity that what was in Manchester United.
Yeah.
How, you know,
It will
it's
definitely be
pretty
interesting.
similar.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see how the teams progress. Manchester United, Liverpool, the characters progress in the teams, and how the managers deal with that. And with Chelsea thrown in now with Graham Potter. Moving on to some hobby-related, if you like, topics. There's a game that we played about 2 episodes ago. Flip, skip, or rip. I just want to bring that back. So I'll talk about the parameters. You've got about £400 to £500 to spend. You have to rip one, you have to flip one, and you have to skip one. I'll start with my brother. The options on the table for about £400 or £500, burning a hole in your pocket. You've got Emma Raducanu's top set, which was released, I believe, last week. So it's her on-card auto guaranteed. The box price is about, I think, $500. Option one. Option two is Merlin Chrome Hobby, which was released today. So for about £400 or £500, you'd get 2 hobby boxes. And option three is the Panini World Cup stickers that we spoke about again, I think 2 episodes ago. With that price, about £90 a box, you'll get about 4 or so boxes. So you'll definitely complete your album. So which one are you flipping? Which one are you skipping? And which one are you ripping?
Okay, so I'll start with the Emirata Kanu. I'm going to skip that, and I don't want to just say skip and that's the end of it. I skip it because she has won the U.S. Open. She is a very good player. I don't know. I just recently, and there's many reasons for that. I just see that again, has she got sustainability to continue and win back-to-back Grand Slams? I don't know. So I'm going to skip that. Although it's a good product, you get on-card autos. It is very pricey, and that's probably playing on my mind if I'm honest with you. Okay, so I'll skip that. I'll flip the Merlin Chrome. There was a release in 200 game stores up and down the country with the blaster boxes. We saw Instagram posts where people said they were doing 1 per person, 2 per person. Some person got 4. People were saying that the reseller uniform was on Supreme head to toe, with the Nike limited trainers as well, or sneakers, and these were selling for double on eBay. So for me, that seems like a good flip. And in terms of rip, I have done this myself anyways. It's ripping the World Cup stickers. So it's fun. I've been doing it with the family. I don't know if my family.
How far are you into the 600 stickers that you need?
About 30 deep, and I don't know if my family like it because I'm being quite shall we say precise about putting it in the boxes and stuff. And I don't know, I think they find the whole thing a bit stressful with me trying to make sure the boxes line up and stuff. So yeah.
Did you see Messi's Instagram post where his son, I believe, was either sticking or ripping the Panini boxes, sticker boxes?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that was on his story. So that's interesting to see. So it was a picture of Messi's son and the World Cup stickers. That was interesting to see.
He need to get more ready to sign those fake autos.
So coming to you, Mikel, I think you've heard what the parameters are. So rip, skip, or flip. Which one are you ripping, flipping, and skipping?
So I would probably rip that Merlin.
Merlin Chrome, yeah.
Yeah,
Hobby,
I think they advertise, of course they advertise the patch, Messi patch.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know how I am with those patches, so I would just rip it just like that for fun.
Yeah.
And I would probably flip the Redacanu.
Yeah.
If there is anything, I don't think so, but I would flip. And the Panini stickers, I would just probably skip it. Like, like I would completed, but I think that's they just taking the Meg and they asking for too much money to completing the album. So it's like for me, uh, in all honesty, it's like £200 to the bin for me.
Yeah.
That what I would say.
Cool. Have you seen the match balls of Merlin Chrome?
Sorry, match
Have you
ones.
seen, so there's something new called match balls where they get a part of the match ball and they put it into the card. And it's the
I
first
didn't
time.
see that. I didn't see it. I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I mean, have a look out for that. So that's one thing that's actually quite cool, and might sway my thing about the product in terms of ripping it. And I think you said you're gonna rip it, so you'd have a good chance not a
Yeah,
good chance. But
I think it's outlets Adidas balls in
yeah,
there
Adidas balls cut
from
up
outlet.
and
Yeah.
put into the cards. No, I think there might be match worn up. Might be wrong, but I think there might be sorry, match used balls. I might be wrong, but I'll check.
I know what you say, bro.
Yeah. Mahfouz, the same question to you.
What I would do, I'd probably skip Emma Raducanu. I think she's done very, very well in terms of winning a US Open. She is a fellow Brit, and I do hope she does become one of the top tennis stars around. But at this moment in time, I just can't see it. There's too much outside issues such as coach changes and stuff. And do I see her as potentially being like a Serena Williams? No. So for that reason, I'd probably have to skip it. Plus, the price is just way too much. I think what was it, $500 if I'm right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, around that. I just think that's too much. I would probably flip that Merlin Chrome set. I think I had a brief look at it. It looks okay. There's decent autographs around.
It sold out quite quick, didn't it, Mikhail? How long did it take to sell out?
I think it's take like 25 minutes.
Yeah, so that's quite surprising.
I'm
that it's
not fan of it. I'm not fan of it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
£225 too much.
Yeah,
Like I
it
said,
was a bit pricey.
if
I agree.
I ripping, I would rip that just like that.
Yeah.
I'd probably flip it myself personally, and the World Cup sticker just for nostalgia. I'd keep it, rip it, and try and complete it just so I could feel 15, 14, 13 again.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my personal choice. I mean, what would you have done?
Yeah, I'll actually tell you exactly what I've done because I've actually played this game in real life.
Oh, fantastic!
Stupid for it. So I have bought the Emirati Kanu set as a flip. The reason that I've bought it is the fact that it's limited to 200 boxes. It's
Okay.
an on-card auto, I'm not disagreeing with you that Emirati Kanu is not going to be Serena Williams because I think the chances of her being Serena Williams is approximately zero. So I agree with you that she's not going to be the GOAT of tennis, with all due respect to her. However, she's won the US Open. All she needs to do now is to have another good run in one of the other majors or even win another major. And, the demand for her will start to go up and people will start saying she's this young, then she's won this many, So all it takes is just for her to play good in another tournament for the hype to build up. And as we know, hype is the unquantifiable thing which sells in the hobby, if you like.
I mean, have you checked the aftermarket? Has it? I mean, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah,
I mean, has it been selling?
the aftermarket? I mean, everybody's got it on for a ridiculous price, or double the price, over $1,000. I don't think there's been any sales at that, and I don't think there's anything completed. So people are not selling it for $550, $50 profit. The 200 people that have got it seem to be holding on to it, or they want to sell it for over $1,000. So
So it's a long game then on this to hold, isn't it? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I might put it on an auction when there is a one of the Australian Open or Wimbledon or something like that, if she does well. So so I have bought that as a flip.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've skipped the Topps Chrome. I saw the link. I didn't want to buy it at 225 because I felt that the one auto, what auto are you going to hit? I didn't think it represented brilliant value, but obviously I didn't know about the match balls then. So I skipped that essentially, and it sold out. So that's a skip. And Rip, I've just bought a couple of boxes of the 100 count sticker packs of the World Cup stickers in order to rip it and in order to recreate that, as you said, that those childhood memories and put it into the album. As Michaela said, I don't think it's something that's gonna, make any money in the collector sense, even if we hold on to it for 20 years and give it to my kids. But it's just that fact of having that fun of maybe opening it. I know my brother's doing it, so maybe I can, he can have a box to help complete his set. And I don't think
Sorted.
yeah, and I don't think I'm going to be as accurate with trying to make sure that everything is in place, because as I say, this is just purely for fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, cool. Just quickly moving on to the next topic. I know we're Creps and Cards, and as we said before, Creps refers to sneakers, trainers, shoes, whatever you may call it. I understand that at the end of the year, there's a few exciting sneaker releases. So just coming to Mikel about that, what are you excited about, and what would you be looking to buy to wear? What are you looking to buy to invest in? And what's happening in the sneaker scene?
Uh, so I would definitely want the shoes, the Dunks Off-White X Futura. I saw those when they first, when the Virgil first showed them, is the UNC colorway. That was like 2 years ago. So they coming, apparently there is a rumor that they coming in the 30th of September. So that is something I would really like to have. If
It's
I
very
would
soon.
hit, or if my wife would hit. That is the rumor. So let's see what will be confirmed. There is also
So,
uh,
Mikel, would you be buying these to wear them, or would it be something that you're looking to sort of resell onwards
that is something which one I want to have.
to
That is
have to
something
own?
yeah. That
Yeah,
is something which one I want to have, because that is something which one I really like.
yeah,
I have a Michigan one of
yeah,
white, which one I really like as well. But
yeah,
this one is UNC colorway. I'm really like UNC color.
yeah.
So that is something I would like. There is also Chicago uh, coming as well, but that is going to be in November. But there is something which one I would like to flip, and that is, I mean, like hold and flip, and that is definitely Orange Lobster, which one they coming as well. I think that they will be really hard to get. Obviously, skate shops will have them, so I'm looking forward for that. There also is going to be a Maniere Jordan 4, which one is really pretty hyped. Just because the colorway is purple like a Jordan 4 Travis Scott's friends and family. So there will be plenty of stuff. Uh, that will come. Uh, just yesterday released of white Air Force One Shrek, if you like, the green colorway. That was only on Sneakers US and in Galleria in New York. So that is something like which one is really like pretty hard to get,
Have you
and
seen the Dunk? I think there's an eBay collaboration with the
yeah, eBay
Dunks.
Dunk, yeah, they are
What did you
pretty
think of them?
limited. Yeah, I really like the idea. That's how they are made. They could make them like the real OG ones.
Yeah,
That I would say that would be better. Like make them like that clear, but make them as the OG ones. That would be
yeah.
epic. But I like the idea. I like the idea. I like that they innovating this way. So yeah, that eBay one, if they keep it OG, would be cool. But yeah, is how it is. So let's see what else will come. And there is also Jordan 1 low, uh, Jordan 1 low, not the OG, but the normal Jordan 1 low. They coming with nice touch, nice colors, a little bit retro soul. I think Mahfouz, you like them, so hopefully you will
Yeah,
like
I
them.
mean, yeah, I tend to prefer the lows for some reason. I do like the highs. I think where I'm at in my life right now, I think lows are a bit more suited to me. Although not that I'm saying I am very old at the moment.
Okay, Mikhail, what you were saying about the off-white collaborations, I mean, I don't know much about sneakers, but just so I understand that, so Virgil Abloh has obviously passed away. So are these re-releases of the sneakers, that the collaborations that he had, or is this something that was planned for release and is being released now? So, I mean, what's the situation with off-white?
So basically, that shoe was I don't know if you know who is Futura, but those shoes was basically collaborate with him,
Yeah,
Nike, him, and Virgil, and
yeah,
they was basically just I know that's Futura, Domicile, Virdem, and Virgil. So basically, and they was like heating it up, and there was rumors, will they ever come? Will they ever come? And now the rumors become big that they might actually come into the world. So people are really hyped about this because the shoe, I will show you how they looks like. They are really, really unreal.
okay.
Like,
So this is not something which is confirmed. This is something which may happen.
yeah, it's rumor, but from source, which one is 95% right all
Sure.
most of the time.
And what you mentioned something about Shrek or something. Is that a re-release or is that a new? Is that
No,
something?
new colorway, new
Okay, so this
colorway.
was something that Virgil planned before he passed away, and Nike are releasing it now. Is
Oh
that right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what's happening to the? How's the market reacting to that? Are they going for a very high premium,
They
or
going for £2,000 up, and the retail was 135.
so there's a crazy premium on these?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
they're
wonder
very
what
expensive.
what Nike are going to do now. Like, are they going to continue every 6 months? Because I what I understand, I don't know very much about Virgil Abloh, but I would imagine that there were collaborations that he had planned beforehand. That Nike can recreate, have the permission to do so, and can do that. Are they going to now do that every 6 months or so, release a off-white sneaker, or are they going to, in respect of him, say, okay, we've got
Uh,
Louis
So
Vuitton.
I think basically
he
sneakers take about 2 years to plan. So
he has
they're
planned a lot
yeah.
of them. There
He's
is
got a lot of plans.
plenty of pairs planned.
Yeah.
Plenty,
So,
plenty, plenty.
so
Is in his book, is
yeah.
everywhere. There is so much colorways they can do. I'm sure that he gave the permission for that because he was always the person who wanted to be afterlife here. And he is. He changed the game. He changed the sneaker world. He is incredible with his ideas and what he
Yeah.
bring. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm looking
yeah.
forward what they will bring. I'm not fan of everything, but there are bits which one I'm really fan of, and yeah, I'm looking forward for that, and let's see what that will bring.
So in some ways, it continues the off-white brand continues to have the hype as ever. You could say, if not more. Is that what you're
I
saying?
wouldn't say there is just specific shoes which one are hype. There are also shoes which one they are less than retail of
Okay.
one of his.
Oh, it's
So
the Air Force Mids, I'm
yeah,
guessing,
Air
isn't it? They look
Force.
awful.
Yeah, terrible, terrible concept
Yeah,
shoes. But look, there is also a thing, Nike living on the collaborations. The
Okay.
yeah,
retros becoming sitting on the shelves like a hotcakes. No one care about them. Lots of inflation. Uh, we know that this is going to happen, and it's just I think just is overloaded. Nike just printing, like printing too much.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
but I
Mikhail,
think
I think so. Sorry, just sorry to interrupt. Just very
so no,
quickly, I
sorry.
think, or even I'll ask you, Mafuz, and Mikhail. So I think before the sneaker sort of resell and the hype has always been there in sneakers, but you know, it took a different trajectory in the last, you know, since about 2015, 2014. But just prior to that, there were there were times where you could go into. I myself remember going into a Foot Locker and Jordan 6s were sitting, as Mikel says, they were sitting. But what about, do you think the retros will be discounted? Because the time just before that, they were actually being discounted. What do you think the chances are that we'll be able to get? But I think, you know, to get like a cement, you know, cement 3 or something is not very likely. But to get an alternative colorway of the cement discounted Jordan 3 retro, do you think that's possible? I'll ask that to Mahfouz and then Mikel.
Um, you know, I know what you're talking about. Obviously, when we were younger, there was a lot more Jordans available back then. I think that was, I don't know. I think personally, I wasn't a massive fan of Jordans back then. I just didn't like the look of them, and I just, you know, wasn't a big fan of them at all. And so, as I've obviously aged, started appreciating them more. You know, yeah, it is funny. I mean, there are a lot more trainers right now, and like you see them for retail, which is very surprising. Could I see potentially there being discounts in the future? I wouldn't be surprised the way the current market is at the moment. I kind of think that obviously it has taken a massive trajectory in terms of resale was going up and up and up, and it kind of seems like it's stagnating now and potentially going down. But you know, if the future only, you know, who knows? You know, we just have to wait and see.
Mikhail, same question to you. Do you think we're going to be able to get not the high? I mean, I don't think you're ever going to get a Bread 1 discounted. You never say never, but you know, something like a Jordan 1, I don't know, metallic blue or something. You know, something that in the just the below tier.
I know. Yeah, I think we're coming there. I think we're coming there, and yeah, I think, bro, we will see many shoes on the sales. I already know that Chicago outlets has plenty of stuff already on sale. Even if I'm not wrong, even Taxi One are on sales. Uh, yeah, there will be that day where you will be coming and you will be buying basically the shoe what you want. But that what it should be. That what it should be. Look on the Converse. You know, you can go and you can grab it the most iconic Converse, whatever from the shelf, whatever you want. You know, and I wish that this will be and you know, to forget the hype, forget this. Okay, have premium silly collaborations, which one lots of times are not even cool enough, or people getting tired of them. You know, I know that's people getting tired of retro, but if we're speaking about the AJ ones, AJ4 and AJ3s, we always talking about top tier Jordans. Yeah. So I think that there will be opportunity, you know, like when we now seeing the prices even spiking up. Like, come on, man, bro. When everything started, I remember AJ's one for 125 for Jordan 1 highs. Now they are on 165, 95.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone, my friend.
Yeah,
You're not getting.
but of course, yeah, I know that those days are gone, but you know, I'm just answering your question. We will see soon them sitting on the shelves as well. Daver is coming. No one will be buying for retail for 200 quid AJ1s, where there is general release stock 200 grand. Like, you know, people will wake up. People already wake up from, you know, from that sense that's, you know, we coming to that's Jordans are sitting, and that it will be even more worse because people has enough. Look, I have enough. You might have enough. Mahfouz has
I
enough.
have enough.
You know what I'm saying? So people
Yeah, if you
stop
see the state
buying
of
it.
my room.
People stop buying that. You know,
I
people
actually
buying
believe
that mostly for reselling. But that is coming down too.
I probably need a pair myself. I don't think I've bought a pair of sneakers for about 4 years. So
You should buy. You should
I
buy
normally
AJ1.
give you some. I normally give him some.
yeah, so we can maybe swap a pair of sneakers for a box of stickers, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
So
Welcome.
speaking
Come
about-
round. Choose whichever one you want.
Yeah. So thank you. Speaking about the resale market and sneakers, and also a bit about cards. Actually, there's an interesting rumor. I say rumor. Some people are, professing it as fact that Josh Luber, who was one of the founding members, I understand, of StockX, turned it into a multi-billion-dollar company, moved over to Fanatics as their CVO, Chief Visionary Officer, in charge of the brand Zero Cool, which is the non-sports division of Fanatics. The rumor is very, very strong that he has left. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? So that's rumor number one. And then rumor number two, which is again very, very strong, almost confirmed as fact, that Fanatics have bought Panini. So, we don't always do this, but just speculating on the rumor mill. What do you guys think about those two bombshells?
Can I just say, Josh Luber, he's the one back in 2015. I watched his TED talk, and I remember, I think I even sent it to Mikel. I watched his TED talk, and I thought, you know what? There's something here, and I sent it around to my friends, and they all said to me, "You're crazy." They said, "Well, what the hell? This guy is sitting there talking about shoes as like assets. You guys are mad." And here we are in 2022. Absolutely, I think many people. Obviously, if you don't know, you don't know. People will say, "What the hell are you talking about?" But shoes definitely are assets, in my opinion, and there's a lot of evidence to back up my opinion. And he's made an amazing achievement to go from that guy on that TED talk who was basically documenting or keeping an inventory of people's trainers to develop that into a stock exchange of things, starting with sneakers. And now, I mean, the other day I saw Lego on there. So it's literally a stock exchange of things. And then went over to Fanatics, seemed to be doing very well. And then suddenly he's gone. This all started in COVID, him moving over to Fanatics and taking over the card.
No, actually, what happened was I believe he sold his share of StockX.
Sold his share of StockX, yeah.
So $1 billion payday, or multiple $100 million payday, sitting around twiddling his thumbs, buying cards, and then the circles that these guys move in. Mr. Rubin brought him on to Fanatics, and essentially started working with Fanatics. So
certainly the way he was talking in those days, when he first joined the Fanatics team, was that this is a long-term project. So for it to be curtailed all of a sudden, you can only imagine or only speculate that it wasn't on the best of terms. So that, and it'll be good to hear the other guys' thoughts further. And then Panini taking up, Fanatics buying Panini, that's got to be a bad thing. One company controlling basically all the, major card companies. I don't know if Leaf or Futera is counted amongst the major companies. They are big players, but basically they own all of it. That's got to be a bad thing. I'll open the floor up to the rest of the guys.
Why do you think?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think owning the two biggest. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm guessing Panini and the Tops are probably the two biggest card companies. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, buying both of them up, I don't know. It's just a bit. Personally, I just find it a bit weird. Then they might end up producing similar products but under a different banner, which is again like I think Panini have their own little thing, Tops have their thing, and I think having them two separate and having a good competition is always good for each other. I think cancelling each other out now by them being owned by the same company, I think I don't think it's a positive thing personally.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys are worried about monopoly and one company basically saying whatever we say goes.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Panini is a lot more expensive than Tops generally in terms of some of the products that they pull out, especially the premium ones. So, if that goes on towards tops as well, which obviously tops are doing certain products which are premium, we've talked about them before, such as the PSG Chrome set. But, that's just like, there's not many that come out like that. And if they carry on, when I briefly look at Panini website, and I see a lot of their products are really, really expensive, and they do come out on a consistent basis. I think that could, I wouldn't say killed the market, but it would hurt a lot of people in the hobby.
Yeah. Okay. Mikhail, just your thoughts on those two pieces of news. I must say rumors at this stage, but suggesting that these things will be announced imminently.
Yeah, so for me, this will means more Messi Sun autos are coming, and and what we have to expect, I think nothing will change in the way you know what I mean. I think nothing will change. It's gonna be nothing will change basically. It just will be under the one Fanatics brand. The brands will be still the same. Panini tops. Just one corporation will take it over of that, and that's about that. I don't I don't see that is necessarily good. Imagine that's Nike buying Adidas. How stupid that would be. So for me, this I agree with Mafus is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, no, you're
Uh,
exactly right. It's exactly the same as Nike and Adidas merging.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you need. It's like Apple and Samsung. You need to have competitors. You need to have competitors for healthy battle of that. That's who will get perform better and pushing each other. Like this, like Mafu saying, I don't really think that this is really good thing. I think it's just the way that they are hungry for more money, but I don't think that's necessarily that is good for collecting in general. I
So,
don't really think that.
what just to push back against that, what do you think about the fact that Fanatics have now pumped in billions of dollars into the memorabilia space? So, the fact that they're so bullish about the market that they're willing to put multiple billions of dollars into number one, buying the licenses, number two, then buying the companies. The rumor is this time they've sort of bullied Panini by buying the printing facilities and not giving Panini any other options. So Panini don't have any releases scheduled for the
Yeah,
rest of the year after October, and then buying Panini. So I know
I
it's bad for competition, but in collectibles in general, the fact that fanatics are so bullish about this market, well, what does that mean for the future of for us as people that are interested in
uh
collectible market?
so
Yeah, and for the collectors in general.
so what I think, bro, is that they bullish, but bullish might means that they will flop with that
Mm.
bullishness. I don't really see where we going to, and where we coming from. Okay, let's speak about the soccer market. Yeah, when we speak in Messi, Ronaldo will retire. Yeah,
Yeah.
if there will be no those excitement Rockies, you know
Yeah.
what that would mean to the soccer market. It will
Yeah.
be terrible.
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo, Pele, always gonna be that legendary. Then we will have those Haaland and Mbappe, who will be that sort of like okay average, and we might see even hobby go even further down. So okay, they think that they bullish, they might end up like a NFTs,
Mm.
like bullish in that sense, and it might not be just what it is. We seeing the NFL rookies, yeah, people buying cards, crazy, and when those collectors actually seeing their rookies performing absolutely terrible, what I saw it's just way what it it's just the way how it is. I think that Panini had always that kind of hype in them, but with Fanatics taking over, I don't really like those like Fanatics taking even tops. I think it it will not change anything. I think more greed will come. That is
I,
just
I,
my.
yeah, thank you, Mikhail. I think Panini would be very measured in what they said. There's a reason why they're putting so much money into this. I think if you look at the evidence around you, we spoke about the sale of the Mickey Mantle, $12.6 million. And even in the last 2 days, I think it was the sale of the Action Comics first appearance of Superman. Was it $3.1 million? Correct me if I'm wrong. A company looking at these numbers will think it's healthy. I don't, they may even keep it secret that they own Panini. I think they will be sitting about planning this. I don't think they would want to collapse the market. It doesn't serve their interest. So yes, I completely see what you're saying, but I think these guys will be planning and making sure the market remains healthy. And Panini, if Panini took their eye off the ball, and I feel it is taking your eye off the ball. If you're running such a big company and you allow a position that your printing press to be taken over, then in some ways you would say that business deserves to be eaten. So, Panini needed to keep the eye on the ball, and it looks like they haven't. They may have been, we're saying it's rumors and speculation. Um, yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another discussion that we'll have for another episode. We're coming to the end, but I think Mikhail's making a very, very interesting point about the quality of rookies dictating a market, and the fact that people are paying millions of dollars for relatively unproven NFL quarterbacks, like literally millions of dollars for quarterbacks who have not won the Super Bowl. When you've got people who have won the Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls, their equivalent cards, or people that are equivalent of that level on an older generation, where you've got that their cards selling for a fraction of the price. So there's two things here. One thing is the fact that we don't know, somebody who's coming into the sport, maybe they can relate to the current quarterback, like for example a 17, 18, 19-year-old on the football scene can relate to Gavi and Pedri and other guys who we know may not be at the level of the people that we've spoken about, but they can't relate to Maradona and Pele. And then in 5 years' time, they may not be able to relate to Ronaldo and Messi. So for them, they're the people that they're excited about, and we can't really comment about the quality because it's best, it's judged against the best around. So there's one thing about people looking at the rookie class and comparing it to the equivalents, and then the best in that class being the chase. That's one thing. The second thing is, and I think we don't have evidence, and I have to be careful about how I frame this, is that what degree of market manipulation goes on, whereby, for example, if somebody knows that a card of a certain player goes for a million pounds, $1 million, other people that hold top cards of that player, is it the same person that's buying all of these and then selling them to somebody who thinks that, okay, their number one card is going for however many million, so if I buy a £10,000 card of theirs, it's going to double or triple. So then but then the person holding the 10 or 20,000 pound card of that person is the same person that bought the £1 million card, and that person is just selling. So like if you like an orchestrated pump and dump, and they make up their £1 million by selling hundreds of six-figure or five-figure cards. So I mean, that's a really interesting concept that I think will discuss in one of the episodes going forward.
Sounds good.
Stunned silence, I think, from the rest of the guys. Or is everybody on?
I think we've covered many topics, and I feel that we've got room for further discussion in our later episodes. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think thank you guys, whoever jump in and listening our podcast. We are really appreciate, even it's just couple of people. Uh, you know, we anyway we would discuss with us this, but like this, we just say that's why not recording it, because I think someone might be interested in it, similar things, similar opinions like us, and all of us has different opinions. So I think that you might be interested in that. Thank you to Wes for hosting it. It was really, really good, bro. And yeah, see you in the another episode, guys. What do you
Th-
saying, guys?
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
Yep,
Thank you. Look forward to comments.
Thanks a lot.
a lot of fun today. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for everything, guys, and thanks for people that are listening. Have a good one.
On to the next one. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.